9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort
Thanks
is
for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with an update on our winter storm, if we can call it that. I mean, these totals so far here across the metro area, pretty low. One thing to watch out for, the roads are still slick, even with the relatively low snowfall totals. What we had overnight is we started with a bit of rain, and then the snow that initially fell did not stick. So what is underneath the little bit of snow we've got here in the Denver area is a little sheet of ice. So that's what made those roads really nasty out there this morning. It's worth emphasizing that. I say this all the time here, folks. I think snowfall totals are really overrated. What matters is when the snow falls and how it falls. And so this is a kind of a slick sort of snow that we're looking at out there. So again, you look outside, I'm looking outside here at Spear and Logan. I know the snowfall totals are not that impressive. Just be really careful on the roads because there is ice underneath all that. And it's also really, really cold outside as well. So let's start things off by taking a look here at those headlines. And yeah, that snow continues most of today. Very cold out there. And there's that burst of afternoon snow that looks likely between about, say, 1 and 4 p.m., so just before the evening rush. A lot going on here, but point being for the Denver area, we're going to end up on the low side of these totals, but probably about another inch or two to go for us in the Denver area. Winter weather advisories, about 2 to 4 inches for us in northern Colorado, and some foothill areas could end up with 6-7 inches worth of accumulation before all is said and done. In the mountains, totally different story, 1 to 2 feet widespread for us in the high terrain. We've had thunder snow around Durango and southwest Colorado. That little line that you're noticing out there across I-70 and western Colorado, that is eventually going to be the energy that reaches us here in eastern Colorado later on this afternoon, and that is what's going to lead to the potential for a quick inch or two of snow just before the evening rush. HD Doppler radar, just a few flakes. It is meteorological dandruff outside here in the Denver area. Just a few flakes fallen, but it is not really accumulating at this point. Foothills, that's where we're actually seeing some meaningful accumulation right now, along and west of the Continental Divide, the Peak to Peak Highway on west. That's where we're seeing some of that snowfall continuing at this point. Park County, Clear Creek County, as well as west into Summit County. That's where that snow is falling and sticking at this point. Denver area, nothing at the moment. Got a lot of dry air that is in place. Meantime, in fact, this is just new to us. Snow squall warning that is in place for the San Luis Valley. I'm going to kind of take a closer look in at this here. Kind of move our radar on the fly here right now and show you that snow squall warning. Again, this covers the entire San Luis Valley from Sawacha on south into Alamosa. And that snow squall warning continues until 11:45. And this is the same little bout of energy that is going to reach us here in the Denver area. I will say this, HD Doppler radar not telling the story right now because of the fact that radar beams in Grand Junction, in Albuquerque, and in Pueblo can't go over the mountains and reach the snowfall. So point being, you're not really seeing the snow, but trust me, it is snowing heavily out there in the San Luis Valley. Avoid the roads, and certainly anybody that you might know that might be going over Levada Pass right now, Highway 160, definitely avoid that as we head over the next hour or two because of this snow squall that is moving its way through the San Luis Valley. Eventually, though, here, folks, that snow squall is going to reach us here in the Denver area, or at least some of the energy from that, and potentially leading some snow squalls into the foothills and maybe down here into the Denver area. Just as a reminder, a snow squall, it is a burst of snow and wind. It can take visibility from 10 miles down to a quarter mile in an instant, and is a quick arriving situation, and we can often see these storms set on up pretty quickly, and it makes travel really, really difficult. So forecast, we head over the next couple of hours. It does look like we're going to be looking at some of that snow reaching us in the Denver area between about 1 and 4 o'clock. Again, could come in the form of a quick burst of snowfall. Then as that snow pulls its way out to the north and east, that should pretty much do it for us along the urban corridor by 5-6 o'clock. We're probably done with the accumulating snow here in the Denver area. Into the mountains, the snow continues, especially into the San Juans. And for tomorrow, it's going to continue to snow into the high country. Denver area, it's just cold, but we're probably done with the snow after tonight. We do get the potential for a little bit of snow for us tomorrow night, but I think we're going to be basically snow-free after this next round of snow moves its way on through the region. So, an additional maybe inch or so of snow for us in the Denver area, maybe a few spots in the foothills closer to 2-3 inches, and then you get into the high country, another couple of inches of snow very likely on the way for us. And it's also going to be snowing consistently for us in the high country for the next day or so. Snowfall forecast here in the Denver area, again, foothills, another inch or two. Denver I-25 on east, maybe another dusting to an inch or maybe 2, depending on how strong that next band of snow is. Then that takes us to I think what ends up being the bigger story is just how cold it is. Wind chill advisories for Denver, much of northeast Colorado, wind chill warnings for the far eastern plains as well. This is where we could be talking about wind chills as low as -20 or -30. We've had a wind chill out at the airport at DIA of -10, -11, basically all morning long. Right now it's -9. Sydney, Nebraska, -22 wind chill right now. So it is really dangerously cold. But what's fascinating to me, you look at the current temperatures right now here in Denver. Look at that, 6 degrees right now at DIA. Then you get on up and you double your elevation. You go to Leadville and it is 18 degrees warmer. What's going on with that? Well, we've talked about this before. Colder air is denser, it is heavier, so it sinks down towards the ground. This cold air originates to our north and east. It's an Arctic cold front, and so that cold air cannot travel up and over the mountains, and so therefore it's stuck here in the Denver area, so to speak, and it can't reach the high country. So it's a totally different air mass for us into the higher terrain. So that's why it is so much warmer at double the elevation right now. Eagle, 35 at 8,000 feet. Kremling at 8,000 feet, 34 degrees above freezing. But look at that in Denver, 53 degrees colder than this time yesterday. This time yesterday was 60 degrees. Right now, it is 6 degrees for us here at the airport. I think officially the 11 a.m. observation yesterday was 59, but it did get 60. Long story short, slightly different than this time yesterday. Wind chill forecast, it gets even colder tonight and early tomorrow, with wind chills that could drop as low as -20 by tomorrow morning in Denver, and then points east. Again, some -30 wind chills possible for us before finally those temperatures do moderate for us. Bit tomorrow, but more into your Friday 7-day forecast. Temperatures back into the 50s for us by the weekend. Early to mid next week, we stay in the 50s, but thing to watch for could be the potential for a bit of snow for the middle of next week. So top line takeaways, we're not quite done with the snow yet in the Denver area. Between about 1 and 4, we'll get a little band of snow that moves its way on through. Otherwise, it's really cold. And if you're traveling through the high country today, first of all, if you don't have to, don't, especially in southwest Colorado. But B, it's going to continue to snow into the higher terrain through tomorrow, if not into early Friday. So the snow continues into the high country. Denver area, we're almost done, but not quite yet. And otherwise, it's just really, really cold. Meteorologist Greg Perez is right behind that TV screen, and I think he's he's waving. He'll be on for us you'll be on at 9 News at noon as well. Oh no, meteorologist Lauren Robinson's on at 9 News at noon. We've got a whole team of meteorologists. Meteorologist Lauren Robinson right over there to my right. She'll have an update for you coming up at 9 News at noon. Meteorologist Greg Perez behind that TV screen's doing cut-ins for us throughout the day. And I think Greg's doing traffic for us at 4 and 5 as well. So 4 and 5, Greg will have traffic updates. I'll have continued updates for you here on 9 News Plus throughout the rest of the afternoon as well. So we've got you covered. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4 and 5. Meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10. We got a big team of meteorologists here at 9 News keeping you safe during this winter weather event. Thanks again for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.